Juggernaut.
Hello there and welcome to another video. It's been a little while since I've done one of these kind of off the cuff videos, just commenting on a few bits of gaming news. And what bigger gaming news is there apart from E3 this week? And we're a few days in at this point, and there have been a lot of new tidbits of information, some great announcements, and I thought I would cover my opinions on what we've learned so far. So I'm going to break it down on a per show basis. Start with Bethesda. Well, there was a whole lot of nothing, or that's how it seemed to be at Bethesda's show. They didn't announce many new initiatives. They announced Doom VR, like I mentioned in the Sony segment. It's kind of an on-the-spot VR experience, though. You teleport from one spot to the next to shoot enemies. There's no actual movement or interplay between sections. However, if implemented correctly, Doom was a very intense shooting experience. It could be done very well, and it could be great in VR. Same with Fallout. Fallout, while it may be not as action oriented, has this vast world that you could explore, and I could definitely see how that game would benefit from VR usage. I'm going to be interested in finding out more about that game as more information comes down the line. But the big news, there were two games that really piqued my interest, and one that I've already played. So let's get that one out of the way. Quake Champions. Quake Champions showed its face, and every time I play that game, every time I see it, it gets better and better and better. They showed off some new maps. They showed off a new character in BJ Blazkowicz from the old Wolfenstein games as a playable character with a multiple wield special move. I'm really pumped for Quake Champions. For a free-to-play game, I am so excited for it. It looks like it's free-to-play done right. The gameplay is excellent. The gunplay, from what I've played in the betas, is exactly what I would hope for out of a Quake game. Bring it on. And also, while you're at it, bring on Wolfenstein 2, because that game looks absolutely freaking amazing. Wolfenstein: The New Order was a big sleeper hit for me. After the Wolfenstein game on the 360, I was a little bit concerned when the New Order was initially delayed by a year, and then we didn't hear much, and then all of a sudden it sprang out and it was in the wild, and I played it and I fell in love with its story and the way that they treated BJ Blazkowicz, and the story in an otherwise meathead shooter was really, really, really good. I played the Old Blood as well, and that was solid. That was a great expansion, and I am so pumped to see what they do with Wolfenstein 2. This is set in America, an alternative America, where the Nazis have actually won the war and have overtaken the US of A. BJ Blazkowicz has recovered from the injury sustained at the end of the first game, and he looks like he's gonna kick ass and chew bubblegum. Nazi ass, and maybe Nazi bubblegum. I don't know. Do they have Nazi bubblegum? Either way, BJ Blazkowicz is going to chew it, and he's going to kick ass. And he looks like he's going to kick ass with an array of amazing weapons in these beautifully designed vistas. They look incredible and feature-packed. The gunplay looks intense, fast, chaotic, and brutal, and it just made me happy inside watching. I can't wait for that game to launch. And the other game I can't wait to launch is Evil Within 2. Now, Shinji Mikami, one of the original Resident Evil designers, created the original Evil Within. It was a very big game for me in terms of a true survival horror game returning to our consoles. Not any of this action kind of horror, oh look, it's a jump scare bullshit. It was a proper horror game, and I really, really liked it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the second one brings to the table. They didn't show an awful lot of Evil Within 2, but I am interested to see more. That was about it for Bethesda. They showed a few bits. I mean, Skyrim coming to the Switch, which is going to be dangerous for me. Having that game on a portable system could ruin my life. But aside from that, Bethesda's showing was solid. There weren't a great deal of announcements, but every single one that they did announce was worthy of listening to. So that's the end of my Bethesda. I'd say it was a solid showing. On to Ubisoft. You demand Ubisoft, because that show was amazing. Games that I thought were going to be cringy and shite turned out to look absolutely incredible, and I am talking, of course, about the Mario and Raving Rabbids crossover, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Who'd have thought that Mario and Rabbids would make such a great combination when you blend it in with XCOM strategy gameplay? Yeah, I was set aback by that. And it's become one of my most anticipated games of the year, and the great thing is I don't have to wait that long for it because it's out in August. Unlike Sony's conference where all of the games are out next year, there wasn't a single thing out this year. Ubisoft's games are coming out in less than 2 months' time. Yes, thank you very much. More of that please at the next E3. Show me games that are right round the corner rather than way down the road, please. Yeah, loved it. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle has gone onto my absolute must-purchase list. It's on my radar fully. I can't wait to see more of that game in action. Speaking of action, The Crew 2. The Crew 1 was a great concept that wasn't fully fleshed out. The Crew 2 looks like it's fleshed it out a bit more. It's a no-limit racing game, where the no limit means that you can basically drive any way you want from A to B, and you can now fly any way you want from A to B as well, because planes have been added to the roster. Very cool indeed. There are so many racing games coming out right now, I don't know if I'm going to personally buy it, but I know several people that will, and I think they're going to have a really good time. I really do. A game that I'm not sure I'm going to have a really good time with, however, is Skull and Bones. There is a lot of excitement around this game, but I have my apprehension on it. Skull and Bones looks like Assassin's Creed 4's Black Flag. You know, the naval warfare aspect of that game. It looks like that has been fleshed out a little bit into a game of its own. And I think that while it looks great fun and really unique and really interesting, it doesn't look like it's been fleshed out enough. It reminds me a lot of Rainbow Six Siege in the fact that they've got this great idea, this great concept, but it runs dry and it gets old and repetitive very quickly. Rainbow Six Siege had that problem. For Honor had that problem with players dropping left, right and centre very shortly after the game was launched. I get the feeling that Skull and Bones will have a niche fan base and the rest of it will just disappear. I can fully expect that 6 months after Skull and Bones is launched, you won't be able to play an online multiplayer game of that for love or money, which is a shame because the actual gunplay looks strategical and different. There are some nice touches to be had in Skull and Bones. I will keep my ear out for more information as time goes on, but I'm not holding my breath for that to be an absolutely amazing game. Although I've got friends that swear blind that that's going to be the greatest game in the history of all living man things. For me, I'm a big kid, so I was more interested in Starlink. Starlink, wow, it looks like everything that No Man's Sky should have been, and it adds Lego toys and little things, little physical things that you hook onto your controllers, and you've got these little spaceships that you can ogle and just ooh and ah over as you play your games. It's like Skylanders for adults, and I am really interested in that. I'm interested to see how the physical toys manifest themselves into gameplay. I'm interested to see more of the gameplay itself. I have got a lot of love for the demo that they showed for Starlink, and I want to see more of it, and I recommend you check out the trailers. Speaking of trailers, Far Cry 5 showed its face again. Looked great. Can't complain. It looks like everything I want from a Far Cry game, now with added dogs. Excellent. But the biggest thing out of the entire Ubisoft conference was the announcement of Beyond Good and Evil 2. We know it's been in development for years. We've been waiting 15 years for a sequel to the original game, and to finally get that tantalizing glimpse of what we're going to be playing in the future made me very, very happy indeed. I love the direction that they were taking the game. Apparently it's going to be a prequel set before the original. The characters already kind of exude their personality through in the trailer. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It looks like there's going to be a lot of humor involved. It looks like there's going to be a lot of adventuring, and whether that is open world or not, I couldn't tell you at this point. But what I can tell you is Beyond Good and Evil 2 should absolutely be on your radar, and you should be looked to saving up your money to buying that the nanosecond it comes out. But that was about it for Ubisoft. They announced a Winter Olympics add-on for Steep, and Just Dance, as always, which my kids all love, but I couldn't give a rat's arse about. But on the whole, Ubisoft conference, I thought at that point was the greatest conference of the E3 this year. I think for the second year in a row they walked it. Until I saw Nintendo's conference.